Hello and welcome to this video about free voice counterpoint in the style of Palestrina. Today I will compose my own piece using a hymn. So let's get started and jump right into it. I prepared this score paper with soprano, alto and tenor, and I'm gonna put the hymn in the soprano, and then I'm gonna make a small imitation in the tenor and in the alto before the soprano enters. The hymn that I'm gonna use is this one, Condito al Mesiderum. And as you see, this hymn has 4 verses in the first strophe. The first verse is usually sung in unison by the choir, and then I'm gonna use the second verse, so starting here, as a cantus firmus in my 3-voice setting. As you see, we have a C clef, so that means we start on a G and we end on an E. Okay, let me just sing this second verse for you one time. Sol, la, fa, sol, fa, mi, re, mi. As you might have heard, we have this Phrygian discant clausula with re, mi at the end of the verse, so I already know now that I'm gonna make a Phrygian cadence to E here. Now I'm gonna take this second verse and place it in the soprano as my cantus firmus. I'll just write it down one time to remember it, and then maybe I will change it a bit later on. No, 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 no. And now, as I said, I want to make an imitation in the alto and in the tenor before the soprano enters. So I'm gonna take the 3 first notes and place them in the tenor first. And then I want to make an imitation with this soggetto in the alto. An imitation like that can usually be done in the upper 4th or the upper 5th. So let me just try out one time. I will try it out upper 5th first. So the upper 5th of the G is a D. But as you see, I have already here the interval of a 4th. So I have a 4th between tenor and alto, and the 4th is a dissonant. This is not working. I have to change it. So I can try imitating in the upper 4th instead. The C is the upper 4th to the G, and as you see, I now have a 3rd between tenor and alto, and this is an imperfect consonant. Then I have a 6th, that is another imperfect consonant. And as you see, I'm really lucky now because my soprano enters on the 6th. Good. Now I could think about how to make this soggetto a bit more interesting so that it's just not 3 long notes. But one easy way to change it could be to make a passing note here between the A and the F. And I'm gonna do that by changing the rhythm and just adding a passing note. This pattern I will of course add in the other voices. So I will add it here in the alto, and I can even add it in my cantus firmus. Now I could start thinking about what the tenor could do here to complement alto and soprano. Here, for instance, I could just place a G. That is consonant to both alto and soprano. Now I have one bar where the soprano has this melodic movement, and I could actually take exactly the same melodic movement and place it in the tenor, but in 10th parallels. So now I have 10th parallels between soprano and tenor. When the outer voices is moving in 10th parallels, the middle voice has to move in counter motion or oblique motion, or if parallel, then the middle voice has to jump. Otherwise I will get a lot of parallels. But let's come back to this bar later on. I just want to consider how I can end this phrase. So at the end we said already I'm gonna make this Phrygian cadence to E, but what about these 4 falling notes, the falling tetrachord? For falling notes I can always make 7-6-7-6, so a pattern of syncopations. But in order to make syncopes, I of course have to syncopate the voice. So I'm gonna do it like that. And now I have syncopated this voice. The cadence at the ends, I of course have to end on the strong beat with the E. And now I have the possibility to make 7, 6, 7, 6, 7, 6, and at the end the octave as the perfect closing interval. Let me just find my 7th to this voice. So the 7th would be an A. I'm gonna put it in the tenor, A, G, the 7th here is F, and then I end on my E. Good, let me just sing it for you one time from here. Dum, bum, bum, da, dum. I always have this 7, 6. Da, 7, 6, 7, 6, 7, 6, 8. Okay, the alto voice could just follow the tenor, but with thirds. So like this. Once more. Nom, bum, bum, ba-da-dum, ba. That already sounds so nice and is typically for this style. Actually, I'm almost done with this phrase now. I just have to fill in one bar here. So now you might see that this rhythm here is maybe a bit boring. So I could, for instance, in my alto voice, make some melodic movement using 8th notes. And then I arrive on the F here. The F is a consonant to the soprano and tenor. I could jump down. I have another consonant. I could go up to the D and to the B. Now I always have consonants to the other voices. And I should just try to sing and play this, what I have written one time. As you heard, I also made a little ornament here. For instance, something like this. D, C. And now I have actually made a 3-voice setting of the second verse of our hymn. As you might remember, I took this Eterna lux credentium and I placed it in the soprano line. And then I wrote a tenor and alto. The next step would of course be to add the text as well, but I am going to leave it open for today. I'll see you in the next video. Please subscribe if you didn't do it already. Cheers and bye!